Over the next few minutes, if you will listen really carefully, take everything I'm saying very serious, and test what I'm suggesting, I guarantee you this could change your life like that, and to an enormous degree. It can change almost everything in your life. First of all, let's stop and think about who we are and what we are. We are a massive energy in a very high speed of vibration. We have awesome power. We've got power beyond the scope of our imagination. Now, as long as we're living in a physical body and corresponding with the material world, we're going to use our senses. We can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Do you know, I've got a little dog that can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Now, it's been pointed out to us by some pretty respectable authorities that you and I are the only creature on the planet that's totally disoriented in our environment. All the other little creatures are completely at home in their environment. The birds and the bees and the squirrels and the trees, they all blend in. They're completely at home in their environment. You and I are totally disoriented in our environment, and that is because we have been given the mental faculties to create our own environment. Now think of that for a moment. We can create our own environment. In other words, we don't have to settle for what we see around us. We can change it. Now, if we're going to create our own environment and live the way we really want to live, we're going to have to use our higher faculties. We're going to have to begin to think. We just can't move along at a snail's pace, doing the same thing every day, day in, day out. We're going to have to understand, what are these higher faculties? You see, we have perception, the will, reason, imagination, memory, intuition. These are all higher faculties. I want to talk to you about perception. Perception is how you see something. It's your way of looking at something. You change the way you look at something, and it'll change completely. Now, let me explain how I do this. I learned this, by the way, from Earl Nightingale. Just one thing I'm going to show you right now. If I have a particular problem or a challenge, I will take it and I'll write it on a piece of paper. And I'll put the paper in the center of a table, and I'll sit back and look at it. And then I'll ask myself, is that challenge or that problem in me, or is it on the paper? Now, as long as it's in me, I'm going to have difficulty with it. So I've got to work to get it on the paper. You'll say, well, that's silly. Is it? Try it. Find out how silly it is. And when I get it on the paper, then I look at it. And I really try and understand it. Then I may go sit on the other side of the table, and I'll look at it, and I'll attempt to get into Earl Nightingale's energy, and I'll say, how would he look at this? How would Earl perceive this particular situation? And I'll start to get ideas in my mind. Then I'll go and look at it from somebody else's perspective. I may ask someone to share their perspective of it. You see, when you change the way you look at something, it changes. Our good friend Wayne Dyer gave us that. He said, when you change the way you look at a thing, the thing you look at changes. Why? Because we have perception. We've got the ability to change how we see things. What are you having your biggest problem with today? Look at it from a totally different point of view. Now, you see, you're conditioned to see it from the way you're looking at it. You've got to change that, bang, just like that, change it. Because you can. You can look at it from a totally different perspective. Your mind is very, very fluid. It'll only be rigid if you keep it rigid. Change the way you're looking at it. That's what perception's all about. Think of when you have a big problem and you go and you share it with someone wiser than yourself, and all of a sudden like that, you may not even have a problem. What did they do? They looked at it from how they saw it. They could see that isn't a big problem. They explained something to you, and all of a sudden the problem went away. There's just a situation there that has to be looked after. See, perception is a mental faculty. Now, I told you have reason, the will, imagination, memory, intuition, and perception. These are all higher faculties. As you start to shift your perception of something, it changes totally. Perception. How do you see what you see? Change it. Understand this. It's not rigid. It's as fluid as the air. You have to use your perception to look at everything you're looking at from a totally different point of view. That's how we've created the world we've got today. Somebody changed how they looked at lighting, and they come in and lit our studio up properly. Somebody changed the way we look at recording, and they built better microphone. How do you look at what you're capable of doing? How do you look at your life? How do you look at your business? How do you look at your inability to earn money? Start to shift the way you see things. That's what perception's all about. Don't look at life the same way every day. Try and upgrade your view. Look at it from a different point of view. Raise yourself. Look down at it. Look up at it. Look sideways at it. Understand this. It's as you see it. That's the way it is for you. Perception. Change it.